This is a quick video on a comparison between the first generation iPad Pro 11-inch and the most recently released 12.9-inch iPad Pro. This is the one that offers you an upgraded display. I've had it for about a week and a half, and honestly, I've been really discerned the differences of that display versus my original 11-inch iPad Pro. I'm sure it would come into play if you're heavily into multimedia usage. As far as the benefits outright, the real estate on the screen is definitely something I've gotten adjusted to and appreciate. I will say the biggest negative I had, at least in the first couple of days, was the weight. So your 11-inch weighs 1 pound versus 1.5 pounds for this. So that 50% extra weight, you'll see that right off the bat, and you'll be questioning whether it's too heavy to use while you're sitting down or laying in bed using the tablet. I've actually gotten used to it a week and a half later, to the point where I could pick up this one and it just doesn't feel sufficient anymore. It doesn't feel like it's giving me that real estate to browse, and I mean, it feels super lightweight. I think for those of you who are concerned with just the extra bulkiness, you'll get used to it, to the point where you won't need your phone at all for any type of browsing, certainly when you're in the house. The 12.9-inch also gives you a 12 megapixel front camera versus 7 inches with the first generation 11-inch. And apart from that, these are so similar in their capabilities that you could probably still hang on to this for another couple years and it'll work just as well, just as fast as this latest generation. But for those of you who want to trade up every couple years, this is definitely worth considering, especially since they're throwing in the upgraded screen with the 12.9 versus the 11-inch. You'll get adjusted to the size and the weight of this after a few days of using it exclusively. If you're going back and forth, it'll be more discernible. But those are the quick impressions that I had. I definitely have enjoyed using the larger tablet. Just make it easier to do both browsing and multimedia, whether that's games or using your Apple Pencil for sketching and engaging it in general. I haven't had the need to get a keyboard to turn it into a fully functional workstation, but I don't think most of us are gonna go down that path anyway. So definitely worth checking out the 12.9-inch model, especially if you have the first generation, which was released in fall of 2018. So it's about 2 years, 6 months spread between the two releases. So if you're approaching 2 years, 2.5 years, I think this is a good choice to examine. And hopefully, if you have a store near you, maybe a Best Buy, you can go and look at it firsthand. If you look at the two screens, you'll notice that this white is a little bit more dull than this one, and that could be an effect of the upgraded screen, and they probably have a built-in advantage. I haven't seen that to date. I've only had it about 10 days, but going forward, especially when they upgrade the iOS, there'll be a lot more benefits to have the 12.9-inch real estate in the display. So this is my initial impressions between the first generation iPad Pro 11-inch and the latest and greatest version. And I'm definitely contented so far with what I've seen with the 12.9-inch M1 iPad Pro.